All right, welcome back, everybody. Today, let's talk about watches. I am wearing one right now, which we'll talk about as we go through. These are from MMI Watches, and it's a collaboration between Awagami Factory and MM Watch. I think I'm pronouncing this right. It's Awagami, Awagami. It is like the oldest paper factory in the world, I believe. They are in Japan. They've been around since the 1800s, I think. I don't have all the details, but they're a very long-term company that makes paper. So they've teamed up with MMI Watches to make some of these watches using paper dials. So what you get is it comes in a box and a leather roll like this. The watch fits right down inside like thus, which protects it. It then comes with, each of them all come with a leather strap with a easy quick release spring bars, which is super cool. A certificate here of authenticity or whatnot, like your warranty card and all of that. So there you go. It's modernization, modification, innovation is MMI watches. And these are just promo ones that got sent around to me and a couple of other people. So they didn't fill in all of the details, which I get. That's totally fine. And then they all come with a NATO strap, which I am not a fan of NATO straps at all. So yeah, and this one, yeah, no, that's right. Just not infinitely adjustable. Some of them are. So I can't speak to NATO straps because I don't wear NATO straps. But there you go. But it's a cool little watch roll for sure that just kind of wraps up here. Boom, boom, done. So if you're traveling with watches, this may be a great option that they include. You could put 3 watches in here and go out for your vacation travel or whatnot, right? So kind of cool. I know it's a little thing. It's a little extra that costs them like 27 cents to include, but kind of a nice thing. All right, so these are 39.5 millimeter watches. So they're on the smaller side for sure as case size. Now, I'm not going to get into all of the specs because I read all of your comments. And somebody commented on a watch video I did recently and said, hey, don't tell us all the specs. We can read that off the website. Just tell us how you like the watch and how it wears on your wrist. So I'm not going to give you very many specs other than just a couple. The 39.5, so you know what size we're talking about. And they're all the same. So this is their Norlights series from the Northern Lights. This one is the date. This one is the no date. I prefer a no date on my watches, period, end of story. Any chance I get, I would rather have a no date. But we'll talk about this date here in just a second. And then this one is the Awagami Factory, one with the paper dial and some interesting lume on the back. So let's just get to some of the lume right now as I open these up. So these are pre-sale right now, Kickstarter or something. I don't remember. Let's go ahead and blast these a little bit so you can see what you've got. They've put lume on the back side of the case back, which I think is cool. So you've got the Northern Lights here, and you've got the Awagami Factory logo over here on this side. The lume on this one doesn't last very long. So let me just kind of bring it up there. You can kind of see behind the clasp. And then if we go to the front side, we'll show you that as well. The lume is pretty cool. And the thing they do with the date on the date one is interesting. So we're going to have to talk about that. I can bring these up. It's not totally dark inside this room, so it's hard to tell, but you have the Northern Lights. You have an illuminated date, but we're going to have to zoom in to see the date here in just a second. So the other spec I will tell you on this is the crown is 5.5 millimeters. It is a push-pull crown, and it is super tiny. It needs to be bigger, especially on the date version. So you can see the numerals around. If I turn the light back on real quick, you have the numbers going around. That doesn't change. They're always static there. Today is the 14th, but I think it's actually shifted to the 15th because it was a little confusing setting this earlier. So you can see right down here at 15, it's a little bit red. They use a translucent dial, and there is a piece in there. If I can pull the crown out without hacking it, see, that's the problem, is it's very finicky. So if you're looking at the 15, now it is shifting to the 16 and then to the 17 and the 18. It doesn't go backwards, it only goes forward. So you now have to go all the way back around. So I'm just going to leave it there. But if I turn off the light and I hit it with the loom, it really does show a lot better with the UV light. You can now see the date is over there on the 18. If I kill the light, it does continue to show up because it is kind of an illuminated disc under there. Quite frankly, it's a nice idea, maybe, but it absolutely sucks for execution. It's hard to set the date. It's impossible to read in the daylight. Now that you know, you can kind of see it, but as you're wearing this watch and your eyes, that illumination kind of goes away and all of that, it's just silly and it just doesn't make sense in real world. If you want it, go with the no date version, and then and they come in different colors as well. And we'll talk about the colors here in a second. The no date version is awesome. You don't have this number wheel around, and most of the time you can't tell where your date is. It's just, it's great in theory, but it just doesn't execute very good. Having the date be so tiny, it's really hard to manipulate and set the date. And it's quite frankly hard to wind the watch. It's hard to set the watch because there is no distinct click between all the way in, date, and time. It's just really poorly executed. So this is the Miyota 9115, 9015 movement, or 9038. I don't remember. There's a couple different movements here with the date, without the date. Okay. So in the Awagami version, they have white, blue, and orange. This is the white. In the Nor light version, they have black, blue, orange, brown, and purple. This is your blue, and I believe this is your brown. The bracelets do not taper. This particular one came sized for me. I don't know if that was right out of the box or not, because these were with somebody else filming them earlier. Okay. It wears fine. I really like it. For me, it's kind of tough because I normally wear my Rolex Air King or my Omega Planet Ocean, which are higher end, luxury, premium, dumb watches to spend so much money on. However, it kind of skews me a little bit on a $669 retail watch that's on sale because they're pre-order for like $482, but yet if you order before May, you get even a discount. So it's confusing to me, the pricing. I think if you ordered it right now today off of the MMI website, which will be a link down below, it is $3 something, 362, 385, something like that. Because as they get closer to the release date in May, the discount like started at 30 something percent in December. Now it's 28, it's going to go to 25, and it's going to go to 20. Like it's this weird sliding scale the closer you get to it being in production. And that just is a little odd and funky to me. So yeah, I'm just not in the mood for that. This one is a little bit tighter, but again, they came from somebody else. So this one might have been sized for them. I'm glad that they do fit because, so this one is just 1 micro tighter than that one, which might actually be better for my wrist. I'm a 7¼ inch wrist. The bracelet, you can see it needs to wear in a little bit. It does kind of get hung up in certain aspects. So it's not, I think that's just because it's new. I don't think that I don't see that as a problem. Okay. This one definitely does not fit me since it flips all the way around. I'm all about having a little bit of a loose watch, but not that can spin all the way around my wrist. So yeah, this one just needs a link or two taken out to fit me. They are screw links. So that's great. That's my preferred method because it's just easy to manipulate at home with a small little tiny screwdriver. So there you go. I'm not sure what else to say. Because I listened to the viewers, I didn't give you all the specs, but 39.5, 100 meter water resistant, and a tiny, tiny crown that absolutely needs to be bigger. I'm sure nobody from MMI will even see this video, or nobody will listen to Dirk anyway. I'm not a designer. I'm just a user. And I can just tell you what I think about it. And you can take it or leave it. But for me, not really my style or my thing. And the date, while interesting, and I wish it was executed differently, although I don't know how it would be different, I think it just needs to be more, I don't know, instead of like a little bit of a red kind of indicator, it needs to be white. It needs to be more in your face, because as you glance down at this watch, you just don't see it. It just doesn't work well. Anyway, I've already said that. So there you go. Wrong Time Watch is the guy who organized this little pass around. So I will get these boxed up and sent back to, I think, the next person that's going to see them. I don't remember who that is. I have to look it up. But yeah, these have been, I'm not the first guy out on YouTube to have these, and other people may have different opinions. So I wholeheartedly encourage you to go watch other people's videos on these watches, because I'm just one guy. Opinions are like, well, we know what they're like. Everybody got one. Ask 5 people for their opinion and you might get 6 different answers. So, take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I do really always appreciate it. And if you've made it this far in the video, comment Wrong Time Watch down below. Wrong Time something. Since he's the guy who organized this, I'll put a link to his channel down below too. Go check him out. Good guy, Kevin. I've met him in person, hung out with him a number of times. So yeah, cool dude. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a fantastic day.